have Phoebe. Long awaited and actually really late. We're already in 2.6, so I'm kind of 5 patches behind, but please forgive me. As you can tell, Phoebe is part of the Order, which isn't as much of a secret and kind of a runner-up as the next premise, or at least the fandom wants her to be. So her elements are very order-based. From the front you can see that her dress is majorly white with a split here with some black details, a blue kind of sash along with her very big brimmed hat, nothing really on the legs aside from tights, and her little boot. From the side, you can see that she's quite puffed out. Not only does she have her white brimmed hat, as I've mentioned before, but her dress is quite ruffly even without a petticoat, and her hair also kind of unruly goes out like this. And of course our mandatory heel. From the back, we can see that her hair is split into two, kind of to show off the back details, and you can't really see much more due to the amount of hair she has. The last side isn't much different as her arms are mirrored, but you can see that the sash is way more visible here. Starting from the top, you can tell that she's very oddly blue. KuroGames decided it would be best if they try to bake in the shading for her hat, because once I remove it, she just has blue hair. I looked at all the other textures she has and none of them are free of this blue curse. Aside from that, the bangs and the back hair don't really match. I've tried all the textures in the folder and trust me, there's a few, but this is the closest I could get. I think it also kind of looks similar to the version in game, but correct me if I'm wrong. Aside from that and ignoring the blue, her hair is a golden blonde color and fades into a little orange or a lighter blonde color. Her eyebrows are also blonde, though a lot lighter than her hair, and instead of having earrings like most of the other characters, she has little sideburns. I don't know which her eyes are, oh my fucking god! Looking closer at the face, she actually doesn't have as much makeup as most of the other characters. Usually with like smaller type characters, they tend to bake in the blush or do more around the eyes to make them look a bit more puffy, but for Phoebe, this isn't the case. I guess makeup is just forbidden at the church. Aside from the eyebrows being blonde, her eyelashes are a shade of brown, with her eyes being really pretty. You have a darker to light blue color and a gradient that goes into pink. Let me separate this by materials and show you what happens when you make the girlie angry. Though she has two different highlight levels, one being the inner one, which isn't that much of an issue, but once you remove the second one, she's kind of dead inside. Her hair is split into two parts, being the bangs and the back hair, which usually doesn't have this big of a gap, but due to the hat having a hair ring, this is where that goes. Also, I think I'm legally required to show you her big ass glowing 5 head. Looking at the general top part, she has a little cute crossed blue and purple hairpin, as well as hair bound by a piece of fabric into a side ponytail adjacent thing. I think the hat she wears is really pretty, with the simple white and black color scheme and a laurel hair wreath on top. And she also has this blue little bookmark kind of thing sticking out of it. Much like the front, though a little bit less blue, her back hair also has this built-in shader, and she also has stars for highlight. Her hair has a very similar gradient, though going more into a white down here, and other than that, her hair is quite unruly, having a lot of flyaways and strands just standing off. Aside from the flyaways, she does try to calm some of them down with little bows, though I don't think it does much. Moving further down, this is where it kind of gets more Order-esque. She has a couple layers up here with a high neck, almost turtleneck-like thing draping over her actual outfit that kind of clashes with her personality for me, as it is majorly black and gold and probably has something like the order written on it. Along with that, there is a gem pendant connected to the middle of this, braided tassels going around to the back. I feel like this gemstone especially doesn't really give Phoebe for me. Don't get me wrong, I love her design, but I suppose that's just what the order wants her to wear. She also has her sash draped over this, which has a lot of detail we'll get into later. Looking at one arm, her sleeve is actually attached to her outfit for once. Usually, especially with Rita Sita, we've had characters with just loose sleeves on their arm and not really being attached to the main outfit, but with her it has to be a bit more covered and put together. The sleeve is put into two parts, with an upper layer being draped over a more fitting kind of sleeve, with black lace all around and more writing. As I've mentioned, the undersleeve is more fitted, but it doesn't really have anything on it. I do find it a nice detail though that they made this kind of see-through to make it fit a bit more with her tights and also make sense as a white shirt. The sleeve ends in a cuff with gold lining and golden buttons, which seems to be a bit too wide for her. Definitely too wide. As an underlayer going out from this, there is a black part. So I think it starts around here rather than being the whole inside, as you can see the skin through this. This part is also striped with gold and ends around her wrist. Aside from that, she wears black gloves I unfortunately cannot take off, and her nails don't seem to be long enough to be poking through, aside from maybe a little bit this one, but I don't think it's intentional. Her arms are mirrored, so let's move further down. Under this black layer, we return to white, having a little golden and blue stripe here, and otherwise keeping itself quite monotone with just more gold at the back. There's also more writing on this, though it seems kind of jarbled. While it is covered up by the tassel mostly, there's writing here and more writing right on top, as if someone just stamped something over it, though I don't think this is intentional. Interestingly enough, because Phoebe doesn't really show much skin, the top she wears is a crop top. You can actually see right under and have a little bit of skin here. On top of all of this, as I've mentioned, she has the blue sash. This is arguably a really big part of her outfit, as it kind of blends in with these tassels, but also stands out among the rest of the white outfit. The sash has a lot of star details, the usual Leviathan, Cardathea, Fleur-de-Lis kind of wreath we've seen all over, more writing, a lot more stars, and a hole in the middle for some reason, as well as golden triangular details and more tassels. Making her bald real quick. The back of the sash is much similar, as she has another shorter kind of version here with more of these golden details and thorn wreath. This goes all the way down, being even longer than her skirt, and is multi-layered with more golden details, little buttons. This kind of looking to be attached here, though not really. Golden stripes going down and ending in a little black tassel. Actually, hair up Phoebe would look really cute. Looking at this. Phoebe with a little ponytail. Moving further down, she has a little waist chain here with a pocket watch with Leviathan. Of course, the Order thought, or at least most of the Order thought, this was their sentinel, so it kind of makes sense she has this, though to kind of also give it a lore reason, this is one of her favorite items. Aside from that, the rest of the skirt is white, kind of parting here and there to let a little black underskirt through, which, again, I guess it's a nice contrast to have some black in there, but I don't think it fits Phoebe. I would rather put Phoebe in a little cute dress than whatever the Order has picked out for her, honestly. This has golden stripes going down the layers, which are 3D. I kind of expected them to just leave this flat, but I guess this is kind of nice, and the Order symbol at the end of it. Aside from that, there's more golden stripe going all the way around her skirt, and kind of wave or kind of rococo, I guess, random patterns at the bottom. Looking at the back of her, the skirt actually isn't 100% closable. Along with the crop top, the skirt seems to be strapped inside. You can see that there's a black layer, which would be this, and it goes up inside her crop top, I assume to this, but I don't really get why. Maybe it's like a suspender skirt, but then there would be some at the front. Don't really understand, but I don't think I have to. Aside from the black inside, there's little white bows holding this together. Also, crazy back shot. Can I remove this? Let me remove this, fuck it. I will try to see if I can find an angle to show this at, but she has back here, and if I think this is okay. If I remove this skirt, her back continues further down, and if I look at the front, her tummy is actually a little toned, and she has a little belly button. I don't know who on Team Kuro thought, hey, you don't see it anyway, but we need to show this, oh my god. But, I guess if you look from below, but also not really, whatever. Actually, you know, kind of fuck it, because her leggings or tights don't really look like underwear compared to most characters, so whatever. I think this is fine. I think she has like shorts under. At least they look like shorts, don't tell YouTube. Yeah, under her tights, she has these little shorts with more of these kind of pawn symbols like she has here. So I guess this is order underwear. Moving further down, she has her tacit mark on her thigh, along with the leggings or tights being quite textured and having little rips in them, as well as seams and a lot of skin kind of shining through. I really love these details that Kuro puts in, especially with tights being quite sheer to see some skin through them, but not too much to make it look weird. Moving further down, we have her boots. These boots are quite unusual for Wuwa, as they're actually fully functional and also shoes with grip and who? They need a promotion. Just saying. I actually really love these, and I feel like Phoebe would be so much more pleasant to cosplay in these than some of the other characters, as the boots are literally just white boots, some cuffs sticking over, and a blue little tie around here. I don't really see a zipper, though you can get into some boots without them. The boot is also folded over with some kind of grey inside, which I can't really tell what it is, and a pure white outside with more golden details. Aside from that, the shoes also have this really cute pattern at the bottom. The underside, as I've said, is also functional, having its underside being with a more grippable surface so that she can run around more. And while I find these really cute, she's actually one of the first to not have her affiliation on the underside. I feel kind of bad that it took me this long to do Phoebe, especially since I love her a lot. I find her dynamic with Zani really cute, having the bodyguard of the Montellis and an order girly being so intertwined. I do hope we get to see Phoebe more in other events, especially now that Renacita is kind of coming to an end, and we're mostly in Septimont. But regardless, I hope you're not too angry with me for doing it this late. I hope you enjoyed, and have a nice day. Bye bye.